Welcome to Dr. Jörn Günther Rare Books. I'm Dr. Erin Donovan. The Bible is the best-selling book in the world. It is the most printed and the most read. Even in the Middle Ages, it reigned supreme over other texts. Just look at the wealth and variety of our medieval Bibles on display here. But the crown jewel of Bibles, the Bible of Bibles, so to speak, is the Gutenberg Bible. The first printed Bible ever. It is considered by many to be the most important, most revolutionary, and most valuable printed book in the world. Our fragment of 13 paper leaves includes the entire book of Joshua and the beginning of the book of Judges, the largest fragment in private hands. To be able to see and handle this work of technical and aesthetic genius is a true honor that we would love to share. The Gutenberg Bible, the first ever printed Latin Bible, the first substantial printed book in the West. This book is without a doubt a work of art. Its majestic craftsmanship has never been surpassed. It was created around 1454 to 1455. It is named for Johann Gutenberg, a goldsmith in Mainz, Germany. It was printed in an edition of around 180 copies in 2 volumes. Our book of Joshua, from one of those copies, represents the 6th book of the Hebrew Bible, here the Old Testament. Its text describes Joshua, the aide and later successor to Moses. It recounts Joshua's leadership and the military campaigns of the Israelites. If you look carefully, you will notice that Gutenberg's printed Bible looks very similar to a manuscript Bible. Its text even looks like handwriting. That's because it was likely modeled on a Parisian Bible manuscript from the 13th or 14th century. Gutenberg designed his type after handwritten Gothic textura script, which was traditionally used for liturgical manuscripts. The result is a crisp black Gothic text, which is famous for its aesthetic balance. He also left spaces and instructions for scribes to hand paint the initials that begin books and sections, biblical book names, and even red touches to individual capital letters. This hand decoration makes each copy of the Gutenberg Bible unique. You can easily see the similarity with our beautiful classic 13th century Parisian Bible manuscript painted by the workshop of the Bible Moralisée in both its layout and in its Gothic script. You can see that the layout has 2 columns with wide margins. In both works, you can also note the blue and red book titles, colored initials, and colored strikes through capital letters. Although the printed Bible's script is larger and more upright, the Gothic lettering offers the same visual effect. Besides being the first ever printed Bible, this work is so important because Gutenberg, with his collaborators, brilliantly combined several tech innovations to create this single work of beauty. This World Heritage Monument includes the Western invention of movable type, printed with a newly conceived printing press, and a newly developed printing ink. Gutenberg's masterstroke was the fusion of these new technologies, allowing for the rapid mass reproduction of texts. This new speed permitted ideas to spread like wildfire and cultural changes like the Protestant Reformation to burst forth. Gutenberg's most elaborate invention was movable type. In Gutenberg's time in Europe, prints were typically very simple single sheets. They were made from woodcuts that were mostly image-based. A lengthy text, such as a Bible, could not have been undertaken with such tools. An example is this Biblia Pauperum block book, printed in the Netherlands around 1465 to 1470. Its images and text were carved into the same woodblock for printing. Gutenberg, being a goldsmith, developed individual metallic type pieces for each of the characters he needed to print an entire book. This was the first font, consisting of 290 different characters. These included the letters of the alphabet, punctuation, and abbreviations. They could be fit together as needed to create Gutenberg's beautifully clear, legible text. Moreover, each character was strong enough to be reused for thousands of impressions. Another technical breakthrough was Gutenberg's development of a special printing press. This allowed the textual impression to be made evenly and repeatedly for mass reproduction. He also developed a new oil-based ink that allowed his Bible text to have this beautiful, intensely black appearance today, over 550 years later. Scholars continue to debate about exactly what methodology Gutenberg used to create his movable type. Although before him, movable type was totally unknown in the West, similar technology was already used in China and Korea. Nevertheless, Gutenberg's overall invention was fully and rapidly embraced, becoming the paradigm of European printing for centuries. The importance of this masterwork cannot be overstated. Gutenberg's new technology allowed for the rapid dissemination of identical copies of texts. This new ability caused a revolution in the communication of information. It spread ideas far and wide. It allowed learning in all areas of intellectual inquiry to grow exponentially. Scientists, scholars, and innovators were able to share ideas quickly, forming a sort of Renaissance information superhighway. Our Book of Joshua from the Gutenberg Bible is exceedingly rare. Even in 1455, contemporaries remarked that it was nearly impossible to purchase a copy. Gutenberg originally published around 180 copies of the Bible. Today, around 50 copies have survived. 20 of these are complete. Single leaves rarely appear on the market, not to mention complete biblical books like ours. The book in my hands represents a seismic shift in world history, the likes of which we would not see again until the advent of the internet. Please contact Dr. Jörn Günther Rare Books for further information about how your collection can become the next home for this groundbreaking masterwork.